Episode 3 of the COG Arcade on January 27th, 2013. I am John, and with us, as always, is Kirby and Jen.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
So, as we had some technical difficulties earlier, I was saying that we are finally getting through some of our growing pains, and we made the decision as a team here to record every 2 weeks. Hopefully, it just depends all on our schedules, so we can have a good flow and hopefully provide an entertaining experience for everybody listening. And we were just talking about what games have we been playing lately, considering it's a little bit slow. Tackling some backlogs. I have not been playing at all. As some of you can probably hear, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm sure you guys have been playing a bit more than I have. I think, Jen, you were saying you were playing Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, I finally finished Mass Effect 3 on Friday night, so yay. Now I'm moving on to Assassin's Creed 3. That's my next goal, so...
I would love to hear what you would say about Assassin's Creed 3, considering it was a disappointment on my front, being a huge fan. But, I don't know, they're downloadable content.
All I know is I have to finish it by March. I have to finish that, and I have a couple, Dishonored, and a whole bunch of others before, well, really the end of February, because things are going to get a little crazy again. On the gaming side, I was looking at the release schedule, and, yeah.
Well, for me, I'm not sure how much I'm interested in some of the stuff that's coming out. There's nothing that goes, for me at least. I know there's a lot of gamers who are into those releases that are coming out.
Oh my goodness. You guys PC gamers at all? Or even SimCity players?
Oh no, sorry, I failed.
Casually PC gamer. I prefer playing real-time strategy games on PC. That's about it.
Well,
still play Rise of Nations.
March 5th, when SimCity comes out, goodbye.
No,
good luck getting me on the podcast, because I'm going to be stuck in SimCity. I played the beta this weekend. It's a closed beta. Unfortunately, there comes with an NDA, and I can't discuss too much of it, but, oh my goodness. Yeah. Love it.
It's good to hear. My wife is really into the sim game, so I'm sure she'll be playing that when it comes out, or if I hopefully get some kind of sale on it or like that for her. She's playing the SimCity 4 a lot. She's probably putting like 50 hours into it. It's ridiculous how addicting that game is. But, what have you been up to, Kirby?
I'll give you a guess.
Borderlands 2?
That would be it. I am trying to reach level 50. I am halfway there, and I'm slowly making my way through the last set of DLC that was launched. So I can't stop playing. So it's like a never-ending game. It's the game that doesn't stop for me. So until something really catches my eye, I don't think I'll be playing too much other than that for a while. And maybe a little Spartan Ops.
Yeah, I definitely want to get back in Spartan Ops, considering that the new stuff is out and going to be releasing, which we'll may as well jump in and talk to you about a little bit right now, as it's part of the talking about. But Spartan Ops is back. Have you beaten them all yet, Kirby?
No, I stopped on chapter 5 because I'm waiting for the gang I usually play with. But I'm tempted to see all these trailers that are being released, but I'm not going to go and watch the trailers because I don't want to ruin it. The buzz I'm getting from everybody, though, that has been playing it, is they've made some improvements in episode 6. So hopefully things are going to be good.
See, for me, I haven't found a whole lot of people to play with. I played a little bit with T-Monkey.
Yep.
And I forget who else, but we played a little bit, but I played a lot of them solo, and it's just the experience playing with somebody else is so much better than just going through it solo. And it takes about 4-5 times the time sometimes as well, so definitely need to find a good group to get through that.
I only played for a few achievements with my friend Jay, and did you guys find the Red versus Blue Easter eggs?
Oh, I've heard about them, but I didn't.
Well, I got the one that's that gives you the achievement. I think it's in episode 5. Anyhow, I found it gives you 20 I believe it's 20 points. So
I have not got that far yet. I'll have to keep an eye out for that when I do play it. I'm glad they're doing it. It's just changing gaming a little bit. Like Borderlands 2 does it right, other downloadable content, and they have the episodic stuff coming out, which is really, really neat, and it seems to be possibly a trend that could be happening with gaming, where they do more episodic stuff, because they did it with Walking Dead, right? And it worked.
Oh, no doubt about it. Given the popularity of Walking Dead and such, I think it's something we'll definitely see as a trend in 2013.
I think it'll be interesting, too, for Halo 4 to see where they go after they do the first 10 episodes, which are free, because, they'll do like a season 2, and we'll see what they do and what they charge, and if the Halo faithful grab onto it.
I'd like to see that business model in regards to gaming. You pay a base price just for the basic game, $30-$40, and then, expand on that from there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with it either.
Yeah, especially if they subsidize the price to bang just to start off. I couldn't imagine paying $60-$70 then.
Hell no.
Expecting to pay pretty much for a third more of the game from how it goes. So, yeah, there's been a lot happening in the past, I guess, 3 weeks since we've talked. May as well start off with all the stuff that Nintendo has announced with their Nintendo Direct, and
which Kirby is so excited about.
You know what? I'm not. You know that, you smartass.
I'm excited.
I took some heat on Facebook for some of my journalistic friends about my lack of enthusiasm. So, I don't know. I've been surfing the web, and I know I'm not the only one. There's really not that I send anybody to our competitors, but in the world, in the scheme of things, I like to read good articles. And if you read IGN, they're all about, there's an article on the Nintendo section that raves about what was announced. And I know we'll get into that, but GameSpot has the anti-article, the article that says Nintendo is in trouble. So for some black and white observations, I think people need to read those as well.
What really the most exciting announcement is a remake. That's what everybody's excited about.
And that's what frightens me.
I never liked Wind Waker myself. I tried it, and I'm like, I didn't.
It's not my favorite Zelda game, but I can't wait to play it in HD. I'm excited about that. But
sure, it looks better, but
what's that stupid Tinkle? Is that its name?
Tinkle, yeah.
Yeah, Tingle.
Tinkle.
I call it Tinkle because that's all I want to do when it.
Well, Kirby, I understand where you're coming from, where you're like, oh, it's all the same stuff all over again. They're doing nothing new.
They've rewarded the Nintendo faithful, and I will never deny that. And those games are going to be good. But at the end of the day, how many times, as I said, did I have to hear Iwata say, oh, it is not ready to show yet? We got so much of that, it's not ready, but here we're going to do this. It's not ready, but here we're going to do this. Oh, we're going to do this. And it's everything that people kind of expected. And the lack of third party, even though I know this is Nintendo Direct, but the lack of third party support so far is kind of concerning.
Yeah, there's only really one major developer that's the Ubisoft does it all the time with no matter what comes out, they're supporting it and trying new things and trying to get things out there, but that's otherwise everything's just pretty much a port from 360 or PS3.
Like Yoshi looks great. Pikmin we saw last year. Wonderful 101 we saw last year. Super Mario was a given. Mario Kart is a given.
Super Smash Brothers, again, a given.
Is a given. I'm not saying those, and I want you Nintendo faithful out there. I do love Nintendo. I've had every Nintendo console except for this. Well, yeah, I had the Super NES towards the end of its life cycle. I don't want to see Nintendo fail, but yet I want to see them succeed in areas they have to in this. What is their next generation console? And as much as I toot my horn about how I do like the Wii U, I can't help but feel concerned for those who have spent the money. By the time those games come out and the games that come out that are going to start to make a difference, the Xbox or the next Xbox or the Xbox 720, whatever you want to call it, and the PS4, that'll be probably on store shelves as well, and things are going to get a whole lot more crowded.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that. For us, Trent has stopped playing on the Wii U. Because he's just not interested. He's sitting there waiting. I want to play Lego City Undercover, which comes out soon, which will be great. He'll start using it more. But I don't know what's going to happen after he gets bored of that game, because Mario, Super Mario Brothers Wii U, it's just a little bit too difficult for him right now. He can play it with me and use the boost mode, which is fine and dandy, but it's just a little bit too difficult for a 6-year-old right now. And there's not a whole lot of games that I find that skew towards the younger market. Then there's games that I want to play, but I've already played them on Xbox or PlayStation, and then there's the other games coming out where it's kind of like, well, I'm probably not going to get in the Yoshi. I'm not a huge like the last Zelda I really, really liked was for Super Nintendo, Link to the Past. That's my favorite Zelda of all time. And yeah, just I agree with you that it's kind of like, wow, yeah, it's there. It's going to excite the people who love those games, but...
And, you know, all the excitement for the Virtual Console, and hey, you know what, that is great, but we've seen it on the Wii. And the funny thing is the charge isn't a lot, but they're still recharging you for the games on the Wii U. And sure, it's $1.50. I can understand they need to make some money and they're going to do some Wii U specific stuff, but yet they're charging again for stuff you've already bought.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't make sense to me.
I've read an article on that, though, that Nintendo's always done that.
Well, I don't think they can afford to right now. That's my opinion. And I'm very opinionated.
Yeah.
So my wife tells me.
I was reading, I forgot where I read the article, but they were saying that, no, Nintendo's not making you pay for that game again. They're making you pay so you can use it on your tablet controller. They're making you pay for that upgrade. That you can still play that game, it's just that you need to pay that $1 or that $1.50 to play it on your tablet controller.
I don't know. I just I don't want to be anti-Nintendo, and I'm not. Again, those games are going to be great. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, I'm definitely walking a fine line where they can easily go over that side of the fence either way.
All right, I'm sure I'm beating a dead horse here, and I'm sure I'm going to get some emails, but next.
Well, another thing they announced was the classic games for 30 cents, which is great, but really, do we want to buying Balloon Fight and all of these? Like, I got the free games on my 3DS for being an early adopter, and I maybe played one, and that's Fire Emblem. This was, I love the series, and I never played that one.
Again, this is really, I think, and you may not be of the same opinion, but it's a reward for the Nintendo faithful. You know, there are those who love the NES games and whatnot, and this is their little thank you for being with us from the 8-bit days. For 30 cents each.
No, I'll probably buy them so my son can play them. He'll probably enjoy them. Oh, wow, because he keeps on telling me every day I want to make video games, and I've read articles where they say if your kid really wants to do that, you got to expose them to all kinds of different games so that they can learn how different games play out, so they can just have that knowledge of how level design and how graphics should look and, like, you know, all that stuff that comes into play. So that'd probably definitely be a good game for him to try out some of these classics. I think that covers most of the stuff coming out for the Wii U, I believe. It seems that for me, that, yeah, there's the Wii U, but there's a lot of a focus on the 3DS, which I think is great, but like you said, the Wii U is underwhelming a bit. But with the 3DS, there's a lot. And I'm personally, as you guys would probably guess, I'm excited for Pokemon XY. It's the first Pokemon that's not going to be top-down, like bird's eye view. It's going to be actually 3D looking. I don't care that it's going to have be on the 3DS and you can see things in 3D. I don't care. It's a 3D environment and you can actually, they're going to improve the art style. It just looks so much better from what I could see from the trailer, and that there's going to be 50 more Pokemon. It's, at the very least, from what I've read, it seems pretty cool as well. And for me, it's like, excuse me, the step between that 3D environment going to, like, you need to bring Pokemon like that to the Wii U, where you can fit all over 500 Pokemon onto that disc and make a all-encompassing Pokemon that has all the regions, and you just make a big, huge, like 300-hour game is probably how much it would take. I'm not sure how much. I know Kirby's not really a Pokemon?
I'm not a Pokaholic.
My daughter used to be, but I couldn't tell you. I can only tell you a couple of the Pokemon. But
Well, yeah. Well, what Nintendo needs to do is make Pokemon like Skylanders.
that's what I was just gonna say. Can you imagine that? How crazy would that be?
Because they would have, there's just like a Pikachu, so there's Pikachu, Raichu, and Pichu. So they would have
to collect them all.
Yeah, collect them all. Yeah, that would be the catchphrase. They would make so much money on that. But it's a good segue to talk about Disney Infinity.
Boom, boom, boom.
My son is not excited for that. He looked at it and was kind of like, I can play Disney games. He said to me I could play Disney Universe.
It's not the same, though.
I know it's not the
fact that what Disney Infinity is bringing to the table, is pretty incredible. The Skylanders-esque idea of the figurines, but the whole Disney toy box is also phenomenal. Yeah. And I think that is going to take... This is what Skylanders would have needed to have done to take it to their next level, and Disney's done it. Or about to do it. So
Minecraft is huge right now with kids in that age group. The building of the worlds and such. So having that toy box and with Disney Infinity, it's amazing.
They did it a little bit with the Toy Story 3 game. They had kind of like a toy box.
That's where
which was a lot of fun. My son really, really enjoyed that.
It's funny how you said that, Jen, because a lot of the buzz online, if you surf some keywords and forums and whatnot, is that the toy box is a combination of Forge and Minecraft combined. Mm-hmm. So it's like the ability to go online with it too, which is what Skylanders didn't do and Disney's going to do. And of course everybody, and John, this probably is for you too, and Jen somewhat, is that there's characters that haven't been introduced yet, and they're working to get them done eventually. And
just think of the collector aspect of it, the rarity of some of these figures, and it's pretty huge.
Well, I collect some of the Vinylmations. I've got all the Tron Vinylmations from Disney, and those are, I love those. So these figures, not only going to be collectibles, but they're playable. That's going to be huge. And
I'm trying to better understand the power discs. I'll let you finish, Kirby, but...
You know what? I haven't heard too much about the power discs
now,
either.
from what my understanding is, these power discs, unlike in Skylanders where you can earn XP, I don't know much about Skylanders. We haven't played it here in our household, but from what I understand is these power discs are in sealed packages similar to like Pokemon cards or... I'm dating myself here. I don't know, Pogs or something like that, in a sealed package. That was cool back in my day. But anyhow, but these power discs, I believe, have certain powers or upgrades that you can use in game. But again, they're in sealed packages, so you have no idea what you're getting. You could get a bunch of weak powers and one really, really cool rare power. So
that's typical Disney. Like that's what they do with their Vinylmations. You don't know which one you're going to get. It's always a gamble.
That has more cost onto that, $5 a pack. Kids are going to be bugging, I need this power, I really, really want this power, or I'll trade you for this power.
Or go on eBay.
Yeah, so the cost is, I'm a bit concerned about the cost of this, though. I think the starter pack's about $80.
I think they've seen what Activision has been able to pull off in terms of especially with Giants, the multi-tier from the Series 2 to the Light Core to the Giants, and then of course the combo packs, if you want to call them, which have two characters and a special item. So they'll have to come in close to that to be, I think, on par with everybody else, meaning Activision.
I don't know a whole lot too much about it. I watched the trailer. That's about it. But if any indication to how well Skylanders has been selling, I think we're saying it's over $500 million in retail sales. Is that including all the toys and the discs combined, Kirby?
My understanding is it's the franchise as a whole. So that's still pretty incredible.
$500 million.
Yeah, that's when you say it that way. $500 million with the B. It's It's pretty incredible, and it shows no signs of slowing down. I just picked up the newest Giants, and
Eyebrow and Thumbback.
Yeah, and they weren't on store shelves when I came in a couple of days later. I just happened to have a friend of mine put it aside for me, but there was and even he said, "You want me to put it in a bag so you don't get mauled on the way out?" So it's.
Where'd you find them? Was it just like an indie store, or was it like Toys R Us or something?
No, it was EB Games.
Oh, wow. I'll have to talk to my store manager at my local one and see if we can do the same thing for me.
Yeah, they're hard to find already, and it's there's one Giant left, and of course there's still some characters to come out like Hot Dog. So it's kudos to Activision. They really took a chance, and $500 million later, wowza.
Every time I'm in Walmart now or in Toys R Us and even most of the EB Games around, the shelves are cleared. There's nothing there at all, except at Walmart. It's all the glow-in-the-dark cinders.
Which, you know what? Those glow-in-the-dark are cool.
They actually do glow-in-the-dark, or?
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, and even the detail that's glow-in-the-dark is pretty impressive.
I have to check it out. So, yeah, that's a lot of new toys coming out. But back to some Nintendo stuff, I guess. There's... Not really. There's some other games coming out for 3DS, like Fire Emblem, some people are excited for. Monster Hunter 3, Luigi's Mansion, Castlevania, which I'm on the fence about. I like Castlevania, the new console versions. Not so much the older ones, but this new one looks really, really cool. I'm not sure how much you guys are into Castlevania.
I have never really been.
Hey, I'm back.
Didn't know you were gone.
Yeah, we're having a snow ice storm right now.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, it's heading your way. Just so you know.
Thanks.
So
It'll be a snow.
if you guys don't hear me suddenly after this, then bye.
Yeah,
and it's a good chance that might happen. So.
Well,
you can do it. All right, let's power through then, so we don't miss Jen.
Some THQ then. So THQ is done. Sort of.
No, they're done.
No, what I mean is like the bits, it's been sliced and diced and people are picking up the pieces. Yeah. So what does it really mean for gamers if, like THQ...
Hey, we get our South Park game. I'm excited for that. Yeah.
THQ is gone, but it seems that a good chunk of the properties got picked up. So it's not
a good chunk.
We're not going to see...
I'm just surprised the way it actually went. Like, who the hell gave Koch Media that much money to spend? And, Deep Silver, makers of Dead Island, now they're going to be Metro and Saints Row? Woo!
Yeah.
And then Sega, I didn't see that. That was a surprise. I thought somebody like Electronic Arts would pick up Relic, especially with Electronic Arts being in the same town as Relic for Vancouver. That just would have made sense, but... Nope, Sega.
It's good for Sega, though. It expands them in a different direction. But,
and Crytek picked up Homefront, which I think they'll...
Definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Ubi picking up THQ Montreal as well, because there was, I guess from what I read, some beefs between THQ Montreal and Ubisoft Montreal where they thought THQ Montreal was poaching their employees, so it's kind of bittersweet, I guess. Excuse me. With them picking it up, it's like, now we got all of you, so there's no more of that infighting if it actually did exist. And as you said, South Park, and I have no idea what 1666 and Underdog is. Do you know anything about those titles, Kirby? Hello?
Sorry, what was that, John?
Sorry, I probably got THQ Montreal was working on a title called 1666. And
nobody, I don't have a clue what that was.
Yeah, I just saw that in the show notes.
And I was just like, I tell you the truth, I didn't even know they were still working on anything, because when I went to see them a couple of years ago, it was for the original Homefront. And, they had plans, and they had talked about, continuing the Homefront saga, and then, of course, becoming a powerhouse in, but I guess that would be Eastern or Mid-Eastern Canada. And lo and behold, with this happening, and it made sense for Ubisoft to buy them. There's no doubt about that. God bless Ubisoft for keeping them alive.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
Definitely makes Quebec even stronger for their video game developers there. And I guess
I just knew, I knew a lot of good people. Like, unfortunately, you guys didn't have a chance, but I know Trevor and I and Chad had met a lot of the THQ people over the years, and it's just sad to see these guys go. So many people have lost their jobs, and it's pretty sad because it was a good company in terms of they were doing some good games. They made some good licenses, but they spent too much money there when they acquired everything. And
I just hope everybody, lands on their feet. And then, the gaming industry is good that way. It looks like everybody's very supportive. And on Twitter, I've seen, lots of job openings, people welcoming them in with open arms. So, good luck to everybody. And
there was a video online, I don't know if you saw it, one of the PR people poured one out for THQ, and it was actually a bottle of Saints Row malt liquor. And he was pouring it on the stairs, and it was like one for THQ. And it's a toast to them. They'll be missed, and let's hope we see them reemerge in other places.
So, also on this note, are we seeing more Darksiders?
Looks like nobody picked up that license. Yeah. There was rumors that Platinum Games was interested in it after the fact, but could you imagine a Platinum
Games and Darksiders? Holy shit. Pardon my language, but wow.
That would be incredible, but, hopefully that's a license that'll be in hiding, and all of a sudden it'll be boom, it'll be announced. So let's hope something happens with that. I wonder what else could happen to all their offices. They have a ton of business space, too. Sorry, I'm just rambling.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stop the THQ post-mortem sadness.
I was going to say, from what I was reading, too, is that there's still some other IPs out there, like their old stuff, that could still be sold off as well. So there's still some auctioning off to do. So I'm sure there'll be more news about what's happening to the rest in the future.
What about the wrestling?
There's rumors 2K Games was picking that up.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make sense.
But it also makes you wonder what happens to Ukes. Ukes is the one who developed the engine for that.
Yeah, definitely. They're awesome at it. Well, I was actually watching a video. Is what if Take-Two did get it and gave it to Rockstar to make it a WWE game? And it's kind of a little funny video of like them playing on their cell phone and everything. And it's and Stone Cold Steve Austin getting arrested and busted coming up on the screen and stuff like that. So a little throwback.
They tie it in with GTA 5. You could go into a wrestling match and it becomes an all-out brawl.
Like GTA characters being wrestlers and stuff like that would be, GTA 6 starring John Cena. Yeah, you never know. You said you mentioned some stuff about Borderlands 2 that you've been playing it and all the new DLC. And
I think the big thing, people, I'm sure if they've been paying attention to the interwebs, 2K did confirm the level cap increase coming with the next DLC. So there's a lot of people who are like, bring me my level cap. And I'm glad they haven't because I'm just about to hit the cap. So, but I've had some friends of mine who are level 50 who have helped me make my way through and look for rare items. But, that's a big thing they've announced is that the level cap is definitely a go. And that, Hammerlock is far from the last one. And they've made the effort, though, to allow us Borderlands diehards to keep playing for not just experience, but for the rare loot using what's known as Seraph crystals. Any Borderlands hound will tell you that's the big thing right now. But I think the big announcement for me was the level cap increase, and for us COGers out there, or any community people, or anybody listening to us that have an interest in Borderlands 2, rest assured it's coming. But they've already released 3 out of the 4 DLC for the season's pass, so hopefully the 4th one's the humdinger, and we'll see what happens.
After the season pass, do you think they're going to release more?
I think they will. I think it's still got such a following, and with the level cap increase, oh yeah.
Because there's so much. They're going to be doing 4 relatively quick, and if I remember,
I've got well over 110 hours into that game, and I didn't realize that until I found where the time was, and I was like, oh. So, but I'm not by far the worst. I've seen people a lot worse out there that have got 300-400 hours already. So,
whoa.
And that's Borderlands. That's not like a Skyrim where you're like, this has its following. And mark my words, I am buying a Claptrap hoodie.
I should give you my my loot box that I got there is I got the crazy special edition for Borderlands 2 with the box and everything, and it has all like a felt map and Marcus bobblehead, which I'm sure.
Oh, that's awesome! A bobblehead would look great on this desk.
Yeah,
Yeah, my house cleaner. That sounds so presumptuous. The lady who cleans our house every 2 weeks knocked over my Avatar statue and broke it at the neck. I was like, no, you can't make those anymore. So needless to say, my Avatar has gone to a better place.
Oh, I was thinking Avatar the movie. You mean Avatar like of
my Avatar? You know the Xbox
no.
360 Avatar?
Yeah, I was thinking Avatar the movie too.
No, this is my actual the Outcast figurine
no.
that I got. That it was they don't make them anymore, and so.
Well, the lady who cleans your house probably got to decapitate you, and some other people may have wanted to do that.
Yeah, it's probably true. So I think that's the key Borderland news I wanted to communicate here today was the level cap.
Well, it seems not like a lot of the family type games, talking about Pokemon. I'm really excited, and so is my son, for Lego Marvel Superheroes. It seems that every time they release a new series of Lego toys, that the game is just around the corner. So
I was doing some research on that this week for my little radio appearance. I didn't know what the heck they were going to ask me, so I just read up on everything. And I didn't realize it has over 100 characters.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
in games. So just imagine the lineup. Like, just imagine all of the Marvel characters.
Well, good for Lego. I just hope they fix some of the fundamental flaws of the Lego series as a whole.
The Lego Batman 2 had a lot of glitchy, weird things, and it was an enjoyable game.
Jen, how did you find Lord of the Rings? Lego Lord of the Rings.
I haven't had too much time to play.
Jennifer.
I know, but I had reviews and stuff to do.
I know. John, did you get to play much of that yet?
I have watched Trent probably play over 40 hours of the game. I have not been able to play it at all. He does not let me play it. Because I get my son to play on my gamer tag now, so I can see how much gaming he's actually doing, because I get the little Raptor weekly summary and everything. So I want to sign him up for his gamer tag that I have for him. So he's put a lot of time. So every single achievement for that game I have not done. And that's kind of shameful that he's boosting my gamer score, but awesome at the same time. But I have not played it at all. It's on my list of things to do.
The little that I did play of it, it was noticeably more mature than the other games.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do for if you say there's over 100 characters, you said?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they do for voice work.
Yeah. Well, for me, for the voices for Lord of the Rings, with what I've seen and heard, it's actually, for me, it's hurt the game, using it straight from the movie. I wish they did something a little bit more Lego. And it's great that they use the actual...
Legos don't talk.
That's true.
More Lego, they don't talk.
It's true. Some
just mumble and show pictures.
I don't like having voices, period. I think it made sense for... the Lego Batman 2, but for Lord of the Rings, maybe not. And it's a fine line with the voices. It'd be nice maybe for the it's tough. Like maybe little things like more like sound effects, like Superman flies up in the air and he would say something corny like up and away. But,
well, you see they're releasing a new Lego movie, another Star Wars DVD Blu-ray, right? So.
Yeah. Well, they announced Lego Back to the Future toys, not the game, but they're doing Lego Back to the Future. They have Lego Ninja Turtles now. Then there's the whole
everything.
Lego Chima. There's like the new.
Yeah, we had that on. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got the games, and the toys actually look pretty cool. I was actually it's called Toy Building Zone here in St. Jacobs near Waterloo. So it's the equivalent of my Lego store. And we were just picking up a gift for a birthday party my son's going to, so we went and got this new Lego Galaxy Quest, it's called. So it's like they're doing a new kind of space thing, because they were doing I guess they're doing by season. The marketing's great. We get the Lego magazine, so it was all about Halloween and ghosts and everything, and so they defeated this vampire lord by fooling him, and made this crystal blast up into space. And I guess when the crystal blasted into space, it was like a homing beacon for all these like bug alien creatures, which opens up the storyline for the galaxy space kind of quest of a thing that they're doing for their new toy line. And it's just crazy. So if Lego City Undercover does well, which is kind of like their main line of like Lego City toys, then if they can branch it off with Galaxy or their horror stuff, they got so much stuff they can go with.
They're doing too much, I think, too. But this is a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, well, we can talk about Lego. If I had Lego Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, that'd be so awesome. We'll move on.
We never had any of that. We just had I was excited to have a wheel in my Lego set or a window.
Do you mean like a driving wheel or like wheels so you can build cars?
Wheels that you could build cars with.
Yeah, I bought my kids 2 packs today. They're like $4 each, so they get like 4 wheels that they can attach on. And because at the store they have a ramp where you can build cars, and they just go straight down the ramp and they race them, and they're all excited. So I got them wheels. So we built 2 new cars and a spaceship this afternoon.
It's soapbox racing.
Yeah,
little.
Pretty much with cars, but yeah, let's. I think we all could talk about Lego for a good hour, so let's talk about the next point. I have known nothing about this game. I think you guys will have a little bit more knowledge than me about the Walking Dead first-person shooter.
Looks like crap, honestly.
Well, to me, I can't believe they're actually doing it. It's an Activision game too, right? So survival instinct.
Based on the TV series as opposed to the comic book, like the Walking Dead game from last year.
It's actually a prequel to the AMC show.
Is it a prequel?
Yeah. And it's of course starring Daryl and Meryl. Is that the 2 names of the characters?
Yeah.
The rednecks, as we like to call them.
Yeah.
It sounds like the voice characters are coming from the actual series, so fans will at least appreciate that. But we just want its launch date is what, March 26th on Xbox, PS3, and Wii U. So that was announced by Activision, but it's been pretty quiet except for the odd announcement, so that's never a good sign.
There was a trailer, or I don't know if it was a gameplay trailer, that was going about a month ago, and it looked just absolutely awful.
Well, let's hope they at least salvage something out of it. It's hopefully the fans will enjoy it. That's.
I mean, it's got a huge fan base, the TV show, so no doubt people will buy it.
So that's the big piece of news for that one.
All right. Well, unless you guys want to talk about anything else, there's a couple of community things that did come up over the past 3 weeks. So one really, really cool new thing and a topic that we were told to talk about. All
right, let's hear it.
Well, the topic is with the recent, I guess it was the school shooting in, I forget the school.
Is it Newport?
The one where
Connecticut.
The one where the teachers died and the kids died, and that horrible thing that sparked some video game violence debate once again on basically, do games kill people or do people kill people? Just plug it in there instead of guns, and how that Obama has a team looking into that basically right now, or some kind of inquiry to see what's going on with that. And G-Monkey was wondering where we fall onto that.
Well, soapbox time, I guess, for me is that, kudos to Obama. I understand having to react to something like this, especially when there's so many people that claim video games are a root cause of such violence. But I think this is a really good opportunity for the video game industry to participate in something like this and actually show that it's not the case. To show that, it's parenting that can lead to this, it's gun control, it's, there's so many other factors but video games, and this is a really good forum for the publishers and the ESA, the ECA, and all the organizations that have any ties to video games to literally sit down with the pundits of who claim this is such a problem, and to show them, look, it really isn't us. It's not what we're doing. So I think on that note, I think it's a great idea. It's sad it took something so extreme for this to happen, but this is the chance I think we have as an industry to exonerate what we do and how it's done, and that it's pull it out from behind the covers and let those who say it is a fault of us, it's not a fault of us. So that's my little soapbox rant.
Oh, I think Jen just went busy again on us there. So I agree with everything that you're saying, Kirby. But for me, it's it's straight down to pretty much parenting, like for teaching your kids about what's good about games and that they are games and things like that. Sure, I will play Halo around my 6-year-old son, and he knows that it's science fiction. Now, my 3-year-old son, like he's 3, I know when he probably gets older, he's not going to get that. So it's all about treating people accordingly. Is that game going to teach him to be a killer? No, but sure, it probably doesn't hurt either that it can teach to a certain degree. It's so tough to say that this doesn't prepare them for war. Like, where if you look at the military, they have simulators and stuff like that for flying. They do combat simulators, I should say, to teach soldiers how to fly in airplanes and kill people while they're doing that. So how is that right, and where video games are wrong? But yeah, it's a tricky situation there with what's going on with everything.
Guns, video games, any kind of weapon, they don't kill people. People kill people. So really it just stresses the need for, better programs to help the mentally ill in the U.S. and everywhere, really. To really focus on the mental state of some of these people.
If there's one place I'm not going to get kind of, entwined in is the gun laws and whatnot. But I think as an industry, this is our opportunity to kind of stand up and literally defend and say, look, we understand your concerns, but it's not us, and here's why. Yeah. And, people think the ESRB is, a joke, but personally I don't. I've seen I've seen stores enforce the ESRB, and I've seen parents that in my neighborhood who do look at the ESRB and they say, okay, I may let my child play a T or an M game even though it's, maybe out of their age range, but they sit and they talk to them about it and why it's rated that, and it's a game.
And that's one of the things I like to encourage people who might not be gamers, is to sit down with your kids and play with them, or sit down and watch what they're playing. I know so many parents and who have children who are perhaps 6, 7, 8 years old, and they're playing Call of Duty. They're playing Call of Duty online at that.
Ooh. My son will never play Call of Duty.
So, if they would just sit down and see what kind of content they're playing. I mean, you know what, guys? We could go on to a whole podcast about this, really.
And I know Monkey wanted to know reviews and whatnot, and you can't, you can't just sum it up that simply. But yet, no. I think we've said some of the things that we really do believe in. That we're gamers, of course. We're not going to believe that this is what causes people to walk into a school and gun
they're looking
down.
For a scapegoat. Really, right?
And, I really hope that Obama's, drive and his panel brings to light some of the truths about video gaming, and they can go, oh, wow, parents can realize that it's not that bad to put a controller in your kid's hand.
Yeah.
For me personally, it helped with my reading. Like, I read so much better because of video games, because when I started playing video games, you had to read a lot. It's not so much like that now, but I played a lot of RPGs. It's what got my reading better.
I'll take, for example, not that SimCity's a violent game, but today my daughter was playing SimCity, and it teaches her budgeting, for example, and it teaches, like urban geography. So there's and she's always grown up with gaming, and she's a very intelligent kid, not violent at all. But then again, I look at, I'm not going to mention who, a family member of mine who, is obsessed with gaming and maybe shouldn't be playing as much. So really depends on the child.
Mm-hmm. So those who are wondering, those are our brief and abbreviated views.
Yeah, definitely a touchy subject there. The other thing is that we have a new segment on the front end and through our community. It's called Straight Up News. It's done by Chris Mueller, also known as Cross on our community. started doing kind of like a weekly summary of what's happening with everything on the front end and the community. And he plugged us a little bit as well in his first episode that we released our second episode. So you can check that out at as well as any trailers and gameplay videos that we might come across and post at youtube.com/GameCanadian. All of the straight up news is going there. I thought it was a pretty good episode, you know.
I think it's great. I like what he did.
All I can say to you, Cross, is that what are you putting in your hair? His hair is like plastered to his head. I want to know. And I just, anyways, that's my question for you. Get back to me. I don't know. Have you seen it, Jen? Excuse me.
No, I haven't had the opportunity to see it yet.
I think he just posted it a few days ago, right, Kirby?
Yeah, he did, and then Trevor posted it on the front end.
So awesome.
I think it's got some great potential. I like where it's going, and I think it really helps highlight what we do. So, good job, Cross, and thanks for being part of the team.
Yeah, it definitely makes it easier for people who don't go to the website every single day to go, all right, I can watch this, and oh, cool. That's what I missed. I can go check out the things that really interest me, and kind of brings the focus to the community and the front end and all that tied into one and everything we have going on, which is really, really nice. But, yeah, I'm all tapped out myself. I don't know about you guys. If you want to touch base on anything else.
No, I'm pretty good.
All right, then we can wrap it up. We got a lot of sites you can go to. So there's CanadianOnlineGamers.com, GameCanadian.com for the community. On Twitter, it is at GameCanadian, and our various Twitters are at JohnnyXeo, at Jen Dingle, and at Kirby_Y. Right?
Woohoo!
That's
me.
That's a year, Kirby.